I got my first paid board role after years and years of trying, lots of frustration, wondering if I was doing something wrong, and wondering why the whole process was taking so long. I'm going to tell you how I got that first paid board role and what it means for you if you're looking to do the same thing. And I'm going to focus on three main things that I think you should be doing. My name is Gillian Alcock, and 3 years ago, I was a senior professional working in finance. Now I sit on the boards of 4 publicly listed companies, and I have a portfolio NED career, which means I'm a full-time board director. I'm looking to help others who also want to gain non-executive director roles, especially those who are looking for their first paid role. So before I tell you how I got that first paid board role, I'm going to tell you a bit about what I did beforehand. So I was working in finance in London, and luckily I thought ahead a bit and decided, it would be interesting and a good idea if I could get one paid board role alongside my executive career in case I wanted to develop a portfolio career a bit later on. So I decided to start doing that. Now, as many of you probably already know, it is incredibly difficult to get a board role. Just getting an interview can be really hard. But I eventually did get some interviews, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. So the first way was through a professional contact. What I did was, and I think this is key, I told my network, I told people that I was interested in getting a board role. So one of my contacts knew that a role was coming up at his company, on the board of his company, and he recommended me for an interview. He recommended me for the role. So I went in. It was quite an easy process, and I got an interview for the role, for the board position. Now, I did not actually get that position, and I was quite disappointed about it because I thought I had quite a really good interview. But the key is that I got board interview practice. And I think that's really important to note. Board interviews are different from executive or regular job interviews. Your mindset has to be different. The questions you get are different. And the preparation you do in some ways has to be different. So even if you eventually get rejected, I think just getting board interviews is useful because it can prepare you for the next role where hopefully you'll do better and maybe even get that role. The second way I got interviews was via an online platform. And there are different online platforms you can use. LinkedIn is a big one. The one I have had success with here in the UK is called Nurole. And I've had a few final round interviews with using that platform where I got to the shortlist stage, the final 3 or 4 people that are going in for the interview. And that's really key because then you have a really good chance of getting the role. Now, in this particular instance, I didn't get a role through this platform. But again, it was great interview practice. And I definitely know people who have gained roles through Nurole, have gained their first paid NED role, for instance. This and other platforms can be very useful. And what's good about them is they'll often let you know upfront whether or not you need to have experience before as a NED, as a board director, to apply. If not, then you don't have to waste your time and apply. But they'll let you know upfront. And what's good about some of these online platforms is that they are open to people who don't have board experience but who have great executive experience. And you can match your experience to the role and apply and potentially have some great success. And even if you don't get the role, you're getting great board interview practice, honing your skills as an interviewee, and will hopefully do better the next time. And then the final of the 3 methods that I'm recommending today is looking for roles via search firms. And that is actually how I got my first paid role, which was on the board of a publicly listed company. But even here, the route wasn't direct. I actually got in touch with this search firm through one of my professional contacts, so through the first method that I mentioned. And so I told one of my contacts, or many of my contacts, I was looking for a board role and that I would like to get in touch with a relevant search firm. He put me in touch with this search firm, a contact he had, someone he knew well. I got an introduction and I had a first call. Now, nothing actually came of that call initially, but they had me on file. They knew what my strengths were, what I could bring to a board role. And I kept following up from time to time, not too often. You don't want to bug the search firms, but from time to time I'd send an email, say I'm still interested. So they would know that I'm still looking. And then 18 months later, I was contacted about a role that they thought matched my background. So I went in for an interview. It was a paid board role, and I actually got the role, which I was really thrilled about, and actually quite surprised about actually. But yes, I think all of the interviews I'd had before, those that I hadn't actually got got the role, but I got to the shortlist and had an interview with the board. They all helped me to practice, and so that when I actually did get in front of this role, which really matched my background, I did a good job and got the interview. It's still very competitive, still very tough, but that was how I got my first paid role through a search firm. So there are a few different ways to find a board role. I think these 3 ways that I mentioned here today are key. First, your personal and professional contacts, your network. These are people you may know through work. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be colleagues or former colleagues, or anyone you know. Reach out to them, let people know that you're looking for a board role, and you may be surprised. Once people know, they can put you in touch. And I definitely know people who've got their first board role and other board roles through this method, but it can be really hard sometimes to get your first paid board role, and using your personal and professional networks is actually a really good way to start. So don't discount that. Do reach out and let people know that you're looking, so that they can let you know if they hear about a role at their company or at someone else's company. The second way is via online platforms. There are many different ones you can use. There's Nurole, there's WB Directors, which used to be called Women on Boards. There's LinkedIn. There is the Cabinet Office here in the UK, which lists sort of government-related board roles. And there are many others that you can find out. So use online platforms, go on there. They will often let you know whether the role requires former board experience or not, or whether you can apply as a potential first-time NED. So definitely use that method if you're looking for your first board role or your first paid board. And number 3 is search firms, also known as headhunters. It can be tough to get the attention of headhunters sometimes, but you really should try, I think, to reach out to them, call, email, or maybe even better, get introductions. So use your personal and professional networks to get introductions to search firms, try to meet up with them, make sure you're on their databases, let them know the types of roles you're looking for, let them know what you can bring to the table, and follow up from time to time. And then when a role arises that matches your background, they are more likely to reach out to you if you're on their database and they know about you. It's hard for them, especially if you're first-time NED, for them to contact you if they don't know you and they don't have you on their lists. So do reach out to search firms, use your network to get you in touch with search firms, and don't just go for the big Shrek firms. Also go for the boutiques, some of the smaller firms as well. There might be some firms that are relevant for your region or geography, or for your industry of focus. So those are the methods I'd recommend. Also, one other thing I would say is that when you reach out using method number 2 via online platforms, sometimes those roles would have been posted by search firms. So when you respond to a role, let's say on LinkedIn or another platform, you may find that it's actually a search firm that's posted it, and then when you respond, it'll be a search firm that responds to you. So there are many different ways to find a board role. These are 3 that I recommend, especially for first-time NEDs, and I hope that this has been helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to get more videos like this from me. And if you want more help with finding non-executive director roles and with the interview process, I have resources that can help you. So please see the link in the video description.